Hello and welcome to Wandering with Justin
and Jane. Today we are visiting the New England National Park
on the Waterfall Way.
We're in the Point Lookout car park area. This is the day use area where if you just come for the day, you'll be able to get a good car park. And there's some good facilities here, including toilets, a shelter shed, and plenty of car parks. See how many car parks there are? We're the only ones here at the moment. There are some old buildings here built way back in the day. Some of these buildings were built by the Trust, who looked after this area before the National Parks and Wildlife Service took over the running of the park. These were built here just so that people would be able to come here and enjoy this area and enjoy the amazing views and the amazing spectacular wilderness that we have and we're so fortunate to have available for us.
Cool.
This is the old toilet building. It's quite spectacular. Just how neatly and beautifully tiled. You've got the old stonework. Of course, nature is gradually taking this back over. And there's the toilet down there. What a beautiful spot. This is something. They certainly don't build them like this. Look at this beautiful porcelain sink, all these amazing facilities. And straight back out the door, all this beautiful pristine bushland.
And these are the modern toilets. They are clean and operated on a natural composting system. No need for chemicals. And the smell is carried up the ventilation pipe so the toilets don't stink.
Philip Wright, a local grazier, advocated for the creation of a large national park in the New England region. This park would include at its heart the spectacular Point Lookout. The park was formed in 1931 and was named the New England National Park in 1933. The park was managed by a trust up until 1976, when it was transferred to the National Parks and Wildlife Service. Thanks to the foresight of Wright and his supporters, we have 68,000 hectares of wilderness, including large tracts of Gondwana Rainforest, a vestige of the landscape that stretched from Australia, across Antarctica and through South America.
So the New England National Park was dedicated on the 24th of the 5th, 1935, and officially opened in 1937. Pretty amazing. And I assume we're now standing at the very highest point. And these are all the places that you can see. It's a Ben Lomond, where I used to live, 1,520 metres high. Glen Innes, 106 kilometres away. Armidale, the nearest big town, 74 kilometres. Mount Caputar, 1,520 metres high. I've been there as well. So many beautiful national parks and interesting towns that you can see all from this point, I assume, on a very clear day. So we just had our lunch. Now we're on a short walk to the Point Lookout. That's the reason we're here, is to be able to look out from the highest point in this region, 1,568 metres altitude, and we're going to be looking across the valley down towards the sea. We won't be able to see the sea, but we'll be looking in that direction. This forest is really cool and beautiful. It's been raining heavily for a few days. Today's been sunny. The clouds have parted momentarily. Look at all these amazing mosses that are growing everywhere. Have a look at how some of these old timber fence posts, they're still quite sturdy. And when I say old, I have no idea how old they are. They may actually not be that old in years, but they look so old because of all of these beautiful mosses. And look at this rock here. Just look at how it's covered in the mosses, all the different things that live there. And what can we see across the valley? Oh, look at this. This is amazing. We're looking down at the clouds, people. That's not something you do every day. Sometimes here in the New England tablelands, you don't realise just how high up you are. You don't really feel like you're very high, but occasionally when you can get to a spot like this, it really brings it home just how high up in the countryside we are. There's a sign here that we would be able to use to tell where everything is around us. So off to the left is Bellingen, which is a small town over towards the coast. And then there's all of these different mountains that we would be able to see in front of us. I can't pick them out at the moment because there's too many clouds, but that's an amazing view, an amazing scene, and I think it's pretty special.
Just seeing how the clouds are going so quickly up into the air here. Coming down from the valleys. So cool.
During our trip, several of the walks were closed. These are signposted by notices across the trailhead to show you that you can't go any further. There was no notice on the National Parks and Wildlife Service website, however, so we didn't find this out until we actually arrived at the park.
This section of the forest is from part of the old Gondwana Rainforests, back when Australia and Antarctica and so on were all still joined together. And we all shared very similar animals and plants. This is one of the remnants remaining. And here's an opportunity to walk through it and actually experience and maybe gain a tiny little touch of a sense of what it might have been like to be there. In this park there are a whole range of walks. They range from quite difficult advanced walks where you'll need some navigational skills and to be able to find your own path, right through to really easy walks which are quite accessible and many people would be able to access and manage these walks. I don't think I'm going to get sick of walking around here anytime soon. Here are some of the early flowers just starting to open. These will come out soon. And this is the Antarctic Beach Forest Walk. I'm bound to have stuffed that all up, but anyway, these are Antarctic beaches. A remnant of the Gondwana forest. I've seen these in Tasmania. I've seen them in New Zealand. I didn't expect to see them in northern New South Wales. Look at these beautiful danglers. They grow for quite a long time. I've heard it said that they grow for up to 2,000 years. I have no way of knowing how old these particular ones are, but certainly they can be old. Here are some amazing little funguses. This is quite a damp area all the time, I would imagine, but at the moment we've just had a few days of pretty substantial rain. So I'm hoping to see some fungus along the way. Now I don't know much about fungus, so if you know what these are, then please let me know. Then we'll both know. Every now and then we hear the birds in the background. It's very unlikely I'm going to actually see one, but it just adds to the ambience. It's one of the strange things I found when walking in New Zealand is there's so little sound in the forest. The forest can be eerily silent. Look at this beautiful old stump. That's amazing.
The tallest tree measured in New South Wales can be found in this park. There are some giant old-growth trees, and one was measured over 80 metres or 260 feet. The location of the tree is not disclosed, but you can see plenty of huge trees on this walk.
This magnificent tree goes up, still going up, and look at the top. See?
This area is the Weeping Rock area. We couldn't go down this track as it was closed due to rockfalls, but it looks like a beautiful place to visit. There are a range of accommodation options ranging from camping right through to powered and unpowered cabins. These cabins look like a good option for a group and are well located to take advantage of the many excellent walks in the park. The Thungutty campground is located near the entrance to the park, but is accessible to the walks via a handy walking trail from one end. The cost per night is around $18. And there are good facilities available.
Each campsite is equipped with its own little table. You also get a barbecue, and there is some firewood supplied, but the firewood isn't the best quality, so you may want to bring some own firewood with you. We're here in the Thungutty campground. This is where we're going to spend the next 2 nights. As you can see, there's some beautiful countryside around here, some great trees, amazing hanging mosses and things like that. Lichens of all sorts of types. The afternoon sun is making everything very beautiful.
The camp area itself is a lovely spot. We enjoyed our time here and got to enjoy a wide range of wildlife coming to visit us as well, ranging from kangaroos and wallabies through to small birds and lizards.
We had many little finches come down trying to get crumbs every time we were at the table eating.
Each campsite is self-sufficient, but there is also a communal shelter shed that you can use, featuring a number of barbecues, some tables. They also had some potbelly stoves that you could light up in winter time to keep a nice warm space. This would be a great area for a small group to have a catch-up or even a birthday.
So what are your thoughts of the Thungutty campground? Huh?
They're nice. It's in a lovely situation. Campsites are good.
Happy?
Yes.
Enjoying this trip?
Yes.
Good. Let's see what's on for dinner. Sausages sizzling. And then I'll have a cheesy rice. Getting warmed up in the binnel, ready for that. Looks good. Got the tent up and ready. The beds are in it and made. It's going to be a good night.
We stayed for 2 nights at the Thungutty campground. We thoroughly enjoyed our time there. And what I really like best about this campground is that you feel like you're in the bush. You don't feel like you're in a separate set of facilities waiting to go into the national park, but you're in amongst it, and all the time you feel relaxed and calm and happy.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll catch you in the next video so you can see the rest of our trip in the New England National Park.